With three, two, one.
Pussy.
Welcome everybody to the best fucking horror podcast in Texas. It is my bloody podcast. Yes, it is. And I am joined by an origin of trios of evil. We are going to have fun today talking about Mike Flanagan in Ouija. We're playing Ouija boards today. Yes, we are. I'm Bryan Kluger, and let's introduce the panel here. The other host with the most. First up, I've got a man from Denton, Texas. He wears the cloth. He prays to God, and he loves talking to evil. It's Preston Barta. How are you?
Like a good old Doris, I let Brian use my hand.
In all of the right ways, correct? We've used each other hands for many things, mostly in the car and in the theater seats, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Up next from Austin, Texas, it's a man who likes to go over to girls' houses and try to get dates with them, but he just left there to hang. It's Dan Moran. What's up?
Hola.
Hola. Hola. Have you ever been left hanging, Dan, on a date?
Always.
The one word man, Dan Moran right there. And last but not least, oh God, she's pure evil herself. She is from Florida. She is from Miami, and she was once a doctor in World War II who just
That's not true. That's not true.
You are a Nazi optometrist.
No, that's not true.
she
Nine nine
Natsu
nine.
doctor. She is she wolf of SS.
Can
It
we
is
book
Chelsea
appointment?
Nicole.
999. 999. Don't put that on me.
What's up, Chelsea?
Don't put the Nazi on me.
If you were a doctor, wouldn't you be that one?
No.
No, not at all.
Man, just keep going.
Oh my God, we're talking about Ouija, Origins of Evil, the prequel, the sequel to Ouija. Very excited, directed by Mike Flanagan, our horror savior. This was produced by Jason Blum and Michael Bay as well, which is crazy. We're going to get into this, but first, a little bit of the horror news, an amazing piece of horror news. Oh goodness. We all have money in the stock market, right? We do.
Hell
All of us.
yeah.
Hell
A
yeah.
little.
Hell yeah. Some money in the market. Sometimes if it's WrestleMania, you get pro wrestlers to ring that bell at the Nasdaq. But tomorrow is Halloween, and who by heavens is ringing that bell at the Nasdaq tomorrow?
Art the
Oh, it's
clown.
Art the Clown.
Yes. There we go. I was like, what the hell's happening here?
It's
Art the
Art.
Clown.
Yeah, he's gonna stab that bell.
Or according to one Chelsea Nicole, is that he's gonna blow it all up.
He could do the funniest thing.
What do you think he's gonna mime doing that? Do you think he's gonna be so in character, or do you think he's actually just gonna go ring the bell and take the picture?
No,
I
he's
think
gonna
it's
do the I don't know. Bum, 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 bum.
he'll
Oh,
do
oh,
something stupid like that, but then he'll ring the bell and then pretend that the hammer that he used is like a weapon, then he'll laugh and take pictures and get out of there.
Maybe it'll be a severed arm, and he'll
My-
use that.
we don't listen. I'm all for Art the Clown. We're too close to an election that I don't need him ruining the stock market before next Tuesday. Arguably, he has the opportunity to do the most evil thing possible.
Yeah, to do the funniest thing possible.
Shit.
I'm excited about this though. I think
That is
it'll
very
be
funny.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that'll be awesome. I'm trying to remember. I think Freddie and Jason have rung it before. I don't know if Chucky has or
Hmm.
Mike Myers, but I'm very excited
All
for
of them?
huh?
Yeah,
Do they put
baby.
him on like a stool?
Just have them do it.
I want them to put Billy up there. Just
Billy
That's
the
a good
Puppet
idea.
Saw.
Oh,
That'd be
I want
fun.
them to wheel out the actual Saw guy in his like fake Mexico cancer bed.
Hoopin' Bell.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why? What would be great? But Terrifier 3.
He's taking off the slow motion mask and being like, the markets are open.
Terrifier 3 has made over $50 million. It's incredible.
That is
Incredible. I'm telling you, gory ass vulgar movies are like Deadpool, Wolverine, Terrifier 3. Gross, vulgar, making money. Will 2025 see tons of R-rated hardcore stuff?
I hope so.
Why are you putting them in the same kind
Yeah.
of bracket?
Because
Are you new to
Deadpool and
this?
Wolverine is super gory and super
Oh,
vulgar, and it's like the
vulgar.
that is a gory ass movie.
It's
It's
gore.
based on existing IP.
And its
That's
gore is
nothing
very
new, and
comedic.
it's just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan
Man,
Reynolds.
this
Yeah,
is
I would show
haterade
my
right
kids.
here. A bunch
I
of
would show
haters.
both. I would show
Brian's
both
just
my
trying to make a
kids.
point. Why
Yeah,
you
I
all
would show
got
my
shit on?
kids. I would show my kids the entire every fight scene in Deadpool and
Because I
Wolverine
got the
before I
time
would show
today.
them. Before I would show them 5 seconds of what happens in Terrifier.
Thank you, Preston, by the way. Thank you.
He's like, can the man just not say something without us giving him shit every time?
No, I'll remember that.
I just think that it's amazing. I'm just happy and very grateful that Terrifier 3 has made $50 million at the box office. Up next, a little bit of horror news. Are you excited for Joseph Gordon-Levitt to star in a horror movie called Pendulum that is produced by Darren Aronofsky?
Sure, that sounds cool. I like
I'm
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
intrigued.
You're intrigued?
I'm
Well, it
intrigued now.
says the film follows a young couple, Patrick, who is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Abigail, on a journey to a New Age retreat in New Mexico.
The
Drawn by
vampire
the-
Abigail?
I don't think so.
Stop interrupting him.
I thought the same thing though, Abigail, but I don't think it's that way. But they get to a New Age retreat in New Mexico, drawn by the possibility of healing after a traumatic event. Patrick is willing to do anything to help his wife, but becomes distrustful of the retreat's enigmatic leader, even as Abigail falls under her spell. It's supposed to be pretty crazy, but if I know anything about Darren Aronofsky, he's going to go all the way. Are you excited about this?
I'm
Am I
so
allowed to
interested
talk?
with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's career post-fatherhood. He's been making some choices, and a lot of them. He's been in a lot of stuff lately.
What has he been in?
He was in Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Oh yeah.
He was in, what was that movie that was where he also played a cop? He's played a lot of cops.
Oh, it was a Netflix movie where him and Jamie Foxx were like police or like superhero cops, right?
I can't
Oh
remember.
Called like
yes.
Power.
There's
That was
Greed.
what that was like right after the pandemic. It was on Netflix.
I was talking about Greedy People,
Oh,
and then
he's been a cop in 3 straight movies then.
yeah,
What? Okay, that's coming out. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get Aronofsky and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But this next piece of news is for Chelsea since she's a video gamer.
Hmm.
Chelsea,
Mm.
Chelsea,
Can I talk now?
maybe
Okay.
Sonic 3.
Chelsea.
Sorry.
Um, did you ever play the horror game Outlast?
Yeah, they're making a live action of it. I saw that.
All right. What do you think? Are you excited? Are you excited
I
for
don't
it?
like Outlast
Ooh.
because you don't get weapons. You just have to run.
Won't that make for
Oh.
a good horror movie that's made by the same people who did Saw?
I'll watch it. I'll watch it. It's not one of my favorite horror games, but I know my friend Gigi really likes it, so
Shout out
Yay.
Juju. I personally had never heard of Outlast and did not care about this, but when you said that it was there's no weapons,
yeah.
that's I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, you're kind of like trying to
Yeah.
escape all these crazy monsters and stuff like that. But I wonder what they will do in this movie. If they will like not have weapons, that would be kind of cool. How do you
Yeah, it
survive
would be
that?
absolutely.
It's kind of like a sneak thing. Sneak, run, hide. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. All
I'm
right.
excited.
Here's another piece of news for everybody celebrating Halloween, which is tomorrow. Today is October 30th, Halloween Eve. Tomorrow is Halloween. Here is something funny. The Heretic Parfume, the perfumer, have teamed up with Focus Features to release a limited edition scent of Nosferatu. So starting tomorrow, you can get for $125 Nosferatu perfume, which maybe smells like the old vampire himself. Is this something that interests any of you to get just because it's horror themed?
I already have it on my wish list.
Do you really?
I do. I think one of the notes is petrichor,
What
which
is that?
is which
What
is
is
the
that?
smell of like rain
Oh,
before it rain or before or
Oh,
after it
how
rains.
brand new of them, if you know the band.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, but yeah,
my
I am
dryer
very into
sheets.
I'm very into like niche fragrance and Heretic. I saw this about a week ago and this it has like violet, I don't know, but I would like to have it just for it to sit on my shelf.
I don't know if I want to spend that amount of money, but I would love if any any of the marketing teams of that studio would like to send that to CCA members. That would be great because they did that with another Robert Eggers movie called The Lighthouse, and I wore that cologne all the time, and it
What did
smelled
it smell like?
smelt very oceany. But it's just very aquatic. I don't know. It smelled refreshing. It didn't smell like a seagull.
It did not. Okay. Well, I don't know. I probably won't get it, but I like that they're doing that. Now I feel like with the success of Terrifier 3, we got to do like an Art the Clown Terrifier perfume now or cologne. I'm in.
Just
And
sprays blood.
yeah, just spray and it's red. Yeah, that's would be awesome. Uh Also, is anybody a fan of the comic book or graphic novel Emily the Strange?
I've never
No,
heard of it
never
personally.
heard of it.
Isn't that a very like hot topic thing from like the
Very
90s?
much so, but I guess
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams is going to be producing the animated movie for that, which I think
Hmm.
is a fairly popular thing. So, I guess what is the last thing J.J. Abrams did? Was that Star Wars?
It sounds like
His
it.
his daughter, Gracie
I feel like
Abrams.
his name has not been in any headlines in a while.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
interesting. He was on top of the world for a while, and then all of a sudden, what he's just doing animated stuff, producing now? I'm trying to figure out what his next thing would be directing wise. I'm curious though. All right. Um
Still crying himself to
I-
sleep every night.
from Star Wars. Oh, that was so
Yeah.
long ago. Okay, so the next last piece of news will tie into our horror Halloween question. If you follow Instagram or TikTok, and if you follow Marlon Wayans of the Wayans brothers, Marlon Wayans has announced finally a sequel to Scary Movie. This will be Scary Movie 6. I'm very excited about this because we haven't had like a really funny one of these in a long time. He did do 50 Shades of Black, which was actually pretty hilarious, but another scary movie. So my Halloween question, my question on my bloody podcast right now. What movies or what things do you want to see Scary Movie and Marlon Wayans make fun of here?
Everything Ari Aster, Robert Eggers, It Follows, all the main heavy
I would
hitters.
like a Dan Stevens type character.
Or
Um,
just Dan Stevens.
or
Yeah.
yeah, Dan Stevens might just get in there and just have fun with it, but just a like good looking complete weirdo,
Yeah,
doing
Art the
weird
Clown.
things for no reason. Like that would be fantastic.
Yeah, and Art the
He's
Clown,
gonna
but
make
like
fun of
off.
prestige horror.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want like I'm gonna be pissed if like they do not have an actual black dude named Black Phillip and have him in the movie and just have like a dude just called Black Phillip in the movie.
I
I just hope
feel
it's
like Preston, do you feel like you just ate your words there from before?
I thought it was funny.
Oh.
I just hope it's not
Because I
hacky.
know Brian.
Mm. Mm.
He
I
has
just
no.
hope it's I want it to be funny. Like if they're gonna make fun of the lighthouse, let's have something like Two Guys original that would actually be funny.
Okay. I mean, I think so too, but I think going the Ari Aster route will be awesome. Like, I really want to see what the Wayans brothers can do, especially in Hereditary, where the little girl gets her head chopped off by the
Oh my
telephone
God.
pole. How they will incorporate anything like that, or even Midsommar, because the sister, what, kills herself with like carbon monoxide. Do you think it'll just like hot box her and marijuana? She's just like dead.
Well,
Yeah, you
and
gotta be careful when you're playing with suicide like that.
But I
They
think
could
the Wayans brothers will do it. What do you think, Chelsea?
they could cast Melissa Barreras and do the funniest
yes,
thing.
Hmm.
that's the funniest possible outcome.
Well, oh, with all of her stuff.
Hmm.
Anna Faris has to come back in some capacity.
I was gonna say Anna Faris has to come back because I miss her and she was the better part of Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
So we've learned.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. What about, oh my God, what about It Follows? Like have like a sexual It Follows thing?
They have so much stuff to catch up on.
Well, how
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
has it been? Has it been 15 years? Maybe more than that
Oh,
since the last
More?
at
one?
least.
20
Yeah.
years? Oh my
It's gotta be.
God.
Yeah.
They they have so much to work with.
And don't forget all the stuff that's about to come out that we don't even know about yet.
Right.
He did
I'm
those two haunted house movies, right? What movies were in that they
One of
focused?
them was sweet though. I think those were just one of them. Was that him who had a not We Had a Ghost? That was the guy from Stranger Things. But I thought the haunted house movie was him, was just one of the Wayans brothers, and it was more of like a family comedy. It wasn't a spoof so much.
I think
and
you're thinking of Medea.
See, I'm thinking of like take my strong hand.
Yeah.
I'm
Funniest fucking
I'm
thing.
trying to think if there's any like big Flanagan stuff to make fun of, like if they'll do like House of Usher or Haunting of Hill House, like the broke neck lady. It would be just like the broke lady, and she's just wanting money all the time.
Yeah.
There will definitely be a commentary on how long it takes, like Flanagan stories of the slow burn and the Ari Aster slow burn, where there will be like there will be a throwaway joke that we will all laugh at because there will be like a ghost in the background or something to investigate someone's trauma, and someone's gonna be like, "This is taking way too fucking long," and like
Yeah.
completely brush over a ghost or a shadow in the background just to move on to the next thing, and I am going to
Yeah.
really enjoy that joke.
Oh, good God. And there will be the Babadook for sure. Has to be.
Oh, really?
I mean,
He's
that's
a
a
gay icon.
yeah, it
Yeah,
has to be a
he is
huge
gay.
there has to be.
He is a gay icon.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so excited about this because I guess I've, at some form or fashion I've really enjoyed the scary movies, and I
Yeah,
liked the other ones he did, like a haunted house where they made kind of fun of the paranormal activity movies, because I think they did two of them. But
it's
coming
It's
back to scary movie, it's probably going to be centered again on Scream, and but kind of go towards all the stuff that we've talked about, which I'm excited for.
you like it or we like it because it's a fun send up that's honoring the movies we like as opposed to like being mean spirited. Like I think the scary movies are specifically designed for us to laugh with,
Mhm.
and they're not mean spirited and like these movies like they're not being like these horror movies suck. They're like we're having a lot of fun doing this, and that's what makes
Yeah.
them so great.
Right. I don't think there's anything to be mean-spirited, because when you think of Scary Movie and the Wayans brothers, you have that Mel Brooks type of feel with it, where with like Spaceballs or the Robin Hood Men in Tights, it didn't feel just like a ripoff of another movie. They actually had kind of a story that had kind of a little bit of emotion to it with their characters, but they were, doing the funny things from Star Wars and Robin Hood and all those movies. And I think Scary Movie did that for a while, at least for 5 movies. And that always made me laugh.
Yeah. I often think of, I think it was Haunted House 1 where Cedric the Entertainer's in it and he plays the priest, right? And
Yes.
there's the connect the cuts, and then he takes a knife and he goes tic tac toe, bitch, and
Oh
it
yeah.
was it was so good.
So
There's
I'm
so many
I'm
good games.
excited. I mean, let's go around. What's the one horror movie you want to see featured in Scary Movie 6?
I don't want to see just one. I'm when I look at this, I look at this as I'm happy that they're doing one 20 years, how many years later, instead of one like every year where they don't have enough to work with. They have a shit ton of stuff to work with now.
I
So
want them
throw everything at it.
I want them to do the Halloween trilogy, the newest one.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I want I want Anna Faris to be living out in like Portland, Oregon with her family to set up a hereditary thing of evil following her, but then to set up the Scream thing, have the stab joke Scream people start and she has to come back to town with like the older characters. I think
Mm.
that's the easiest. Have
That would
them
be
all like
good.
have the two Wayans brothers living in a lighthouse, have her doing have her doing Hereditary, have someone else doing something, and then the Scream guy comes back, and then they can get back to spoofing all of the legacy sequels. I think that's the best way to do it.
Because is there two or three Legacy Scream sequels?
I think three, and we're coming up on four.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I've
Man,
been watching them all, and they're great.
Yeah, they're all fun. That's the thing. None of them are bad.
I used to not like the fifth one that much, the first, or I guess the second of the reboot, and I think it's really good. I actually like it more than three. So the third one, it's been going further and further down for me.
Well, hell yeah. So Scream 6. Well, no, Scream 6, the Scary Movie 6. I'm excited for this. I wonder how many people they will get to be in this.
A lot.
A lot, a lot. This is Anna Faris's time to shine because I'm trying to remember a movie that Anna Faris has been in recently. Does anybody know?
She was in that mom show.
Yeah, that's true. She had a CBS sitcom for like 5 years, so she's just rolling in money.
Doesn't she? Yeah, doesn't she have a podcast too?
Probably.
Who
There
doesn't?
you go.
We got
Sweet.
we got two.
Busy.
Yeah.
All right. That's news
Wait. Can I mention
Oh,
Alien Romulus VHS? I know we've brought it up, but now it's officially available for purchase via Walmart, and it is $60.
for a VHS tape?
Yep.
Man, that's
Taking it
crack
back to the
prices.
80s prices.
That's crack prices. Jesus Christ. Who's gonna,
Crack
but
price.
which is great because like almost nobody has a VHS player anymore. I mean, yes, I know you do, Preston, and I know I do, but Chelsea, do you still have a VHS player?
Yes, I do. Yes.
I watched Ouija Origin of Evil on VHS.
Jesus Christ.
That's not even open.
I have the bottom open.
Oh, okay.
I keep the plastic on it.
Oh, okay.
Just like his women.
Keep it wrapped.
Keep it wrapped.
Wrap it up.
Us old folks don't know how to keep it wrapped up. Dan, do you have a VHS player?
No,
Okay.
I don't
So,
even have a DVD player, I don't think.
oh, are you full digital only?
Oh, wait, there's a DVD
The
player.
Raw
Or
Dogs
Blu-ray.
movies.
Yeah, there's a Blu-ray in my closet. Blu-ray player.
Oh, I'm glad it's in your closet.
Yeah, it doesn't, hey, listen, it can live its own life, and when it wants to come out, it can.
Do you have, do
Yeah.
you do any physical media, Dan?
Books?
Okay.
No, I really don't.
That's
Like
part
I
of it.
have,
That's books is, I mean, do you read
yeah,
books like you turn the page?
I have a bookshelf over there of a bunch of books. I'm reading a book right now. But no,
Okay.
I don't. I have a Rubbermaid container of Blu-rays that I want, but I do not collect like you guys do. I'm not a physical media nerd in the way that you guys are, and I'm going to regret it someday when I can no longer flip on XYZ movie.
Yeah. That day
Like
is
my
coming.
wife won't let me get rid of the Friends DVD box sets
You
or
can-
Gilmore Girls.
yeah, the 4K. It's on 4K now. Ugh.
There's
Chelsea,
only
are you
three Ks in that show.
Right? Chelsea, do you like physical media?
Bought my heat.
Got my heat. Yeah, I love physical media. I lost like half of it in a relationship years ago.
Beanbag Ron took it.
No, this was different. This was different. But yeah, I was moving and he took like 75% of my collection.
Oh,
So
And you haven't built it back up yet?
no, fuck you, Steven.
yeah,
Damn.
Steven.
Shout out. But at least you got Preston's heat though, right?
Yeah, no, that makes up for it.
That does make up for it. Did Preston sign it?
No, I'm not gonna ruin it. Bring down the
Preston,
quality.
he just signs it as Michael Mann. That would have been actually really funny, but no.
Or
And
in
I,
Brian's case, it'd be called Mike Man.
Mike
yes,
Man.
yes. Mike man.
No, but I still have all my X files and my like my 24 cube. Like I have a lot of random stuff.
But okay, in addition to
Or
this
not 24 alias.
into
What's
this
up to say?
Alien Romulus thing, because I'm a big fan of physical media too. I love Blu-rays, 4Ks, I love it all. I love the collector sets, I love records and albums, and I used to love action figures and toys and statues and books and comics. But VHS, I
The
don't
worst
I
format. I
I
know where you're going with
I
this.
still don't understand the VHS thing. I don't. I do not
It,
understand the VHS
it's a
thing.
collect.
It's
I
my
don't
love for
have it.
cinema.
It's cool.
Is it?
Yes. Like if I went
Okay.
over to Preston's house and I saw his Alien Romulus VHS, I would say, "Oh, that's cool," and then I would move on with my day.
That's
Worth
why
the
I buy
60
stuff.
bucks right there. Worth the
But it's
60
Do you want to
bucks.
legitimate.
touch it?
But it's legitimately it's cool. I don't know. I love whenever they you can go online and get people to box up your Blu-rays in like to send you VHS artwork to hold your Blu-rays in that I've seen some people online do, and I think it looks awesome.
Yes.
Okay. I've always been curious about that because I know Rex.
Aesthetics.
Huh? What is it?
It's
Aesthetics.
aesthetics. It's aesthetically pleasing to look at.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I
I feel like it's a bigger showcase. It's a thick boy. There. I feel like it's a bigger showcase of what those movies are and what they have the potential to be if you have not seen them. But I don't know. I enjoy looking at this side of my room where the VHSs are versus VHS tapes, versus the Blu-rays. I don't
all
know.
right.
The thicker spine. I don't. To me, it's the birth of cinema for myself and my age and generation because, like I've long said on this podcast, VHS tapes were the my introduction to cinema
Okay.
more than anything else.
Absolutely.
Now you're getting brand new movies on VHS such as Alien Romulus.
Yeah, and you can get Late Night with the Devil on
And it
VHS if you
glows in
want
the
that.
dark.
Yeah, glows in the dark.
Really? Oh, I
Yeah,
think also Terrifier 3 has like a VHS coming out of it
yeah,
as well.
yeah. You have to
Um,
order from Australia. I bought Rad, a new Rad on VHS.
Well, the
do,
old
60
rad on
bucks.
a new VHS.
Yeah, the old Rad on a new VHS. That's right.
Does I'm curious on the VHS thing. Does it come with good sound or video? Does it look really crisp or does it have like that nostalgic grain and feel to it?
It's not going to miraculously be 4K or anything like that. It's still going to be as good as VHS can be.
Okay.
But I will say, in putting Rad in, because I have the original and the new one, um, and it sounds a little crisper because I feel like they can prepare it a little bit better or export it a little bit better these days. But I mean, it's still watching
Also,
it on
Yeah.
VHS.
I'm just
who are we kidding? Not to jump ahead to the movie we're talking about today, but when you put in a VHS and it crackles a little bit, just like the opening of Ouija Origin of Evil, where it was the old school Universal logo and it kind of vibrated a little bit on the screen. It got me excited.
Yeah.
I was like, awesome. Like it just
yeah.
there's a feel to it. There's a nostalgia trap when you watch a VHS.
I mean, I guess yes, there is. I'm just trying to think like I'm trying to think of the last time I actually put a VHS into the VCR player and played it across my 75-inch widescreen
That
flat
would look
screen TV.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's why I have a small TV in here.
Yeah, you got like a little small, is it a computer monitor or is it a tube?
Yeah, it's like a computer monitor. It's a flat screen, but it's just like,
Um,
I don't know, 21 inches.
Hell yeah.
That's what she said. What were you gonna say, Chelsea?
I just went. I was gonna say I got in trouble as a kid by because everyone thought that I put my cousin's finger into a VHS player and she had to get stitches.
Dude.
Uh Spoiler, she did it herself, the dumb little kid.
Nah.
But yeah, I wasn't allowed around like VHS players around my aunt's house for like a while.
This is why Chelsea is on this pod, to exorcise all her pain.
Yes. She's good at
That,
that.
that and Steve are everything.
That
I don't
is.
know. When you said VHS, it just VCR, it made me think, you little shit.
All right, all right, all right. It is Halloween. It's October 30th. Are any of you dressing up tomorrow to go trick or treating? If so, what as? And if so, what candy are you stealing from your children to eat yourself?
I'm being Mario. Wait, no.
Nope.
It's
I'm being
me, I'm Mario.
I'm being Luigi,
Okay.
and my son is being inflatable Mario, which you can't see. And it looks like
It's
he's
a
riding
me.
Yoshi. It's
Are you
really
going
fun.
to do the voices?
The
No,
Chris, the Chris
we don't
Pratt version.
no, we
That's
we
a
respect
minion.
other cultures in my home, so no.
I don't-
As the Trump voter.
Mam-
Italiano.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, absolutely we'll do that. And then my daughter is being one of the Sanderson sisters. So
Which one?
uh
Sarah Jessica Parker?
the purplier one. I'm just looking at her dress hanging. I have no
I
freaking
don't
idea.
know. I don't know.
Oh,
Her
and
and her
what
friend,
candy are you going to steal from your
her and her
kids?
cousin and a friend are being the three Sanderson sisters.
That's cool. I like that.
What candy are you going to steal from your kids?
Well, like probably Twix.
Okay. Dan's just sucking that caramel out of those Twix bars tomorrow night. It's going to be awesome.
Unless I find some spaghetti.
Good.
Gorlami.
Yeah, or gorlami. I like that.
Gorlami.
Gorlami. Preston, what about you? What are you dressing up as, and what are you going to steal from Ro?
I'm not dressing up as anything this year, but my son is going to be a character from Minecraft.
Mm, that's
And
big.
as much as I love that, and he has a gymnastics class, and so we're doing that, and then quickly coming back home, and then going around our neighborhood, and then handing out candy for the last bit of it.
All
Fun.
right.
But I'm gonna put my record player outside, and I'm gonna play the Disney World soundtrack sounds, or the sounds from that they released back in the 60s, where
That's
it's just a
cool.
bunch of creepy sounds.
A bunch of creepy sounds. Sweet. I like that. Chelsea left, I think. I don't know if she had an issue with the internet. She'll be back. I believe I am going to go over to my friend Warren's house, who has two kids, and him and I are going to reprise our Dumb and Dumber blue and orange tuxes and then fight with canes in the street. So I'm very excited
Did you
about
buy
this.
that tux?
I did.
Nice.
And so Warren and I wore that to the Halloween party this past weekend, and him and I won best costume at the party,
Oh, that's
and
great.
we made a vow that we
He's
both
the
kept
host.
the tuxes, and we are going to wear them out to nice dinners when we go out. Like
How much? Tell us how much, just because you were complaining about $50 VHSs, how much was your Dumb and Dumber tux?
Not much. It's not like top of the line custom or anything.
Okay.
So it's about $150 all said
Okay.
and done.
It
So
looked good.
yeah, thank you. Yo, it came with everything. It
I
got
thought it was
everything.
one of the custom ones that you see online. I was like, damn, he really went all out.
Yeah, so we are going to wear it. We're going to bring our canes, we're going to bring our top hats and everything into that. So I'm excited about that. I am. Hold on a second. Let me see. Oh, the power flickered for her. All right. Want to wait a second? I could edit this in.
Make a note, as Dan only has 30 more minutes.
It'll just be silent.
I can call in. I'll just be driving somewhere.
It won't sound good if you call in, man.
Sure, I know. I was just saying, like,
Um, so yeah. But yeah, no, that's cool. I like that. So, Preston, I thought you liked to dress up and shit. Why aren't you dressing up?
I do, but it's just life is moving at full tilt and just haven't had time to really do any of that. So no, and we just stay home, so no point in really buying something that I'm only gonna really wear for like 2 hours, and that's it.
Okay. No,
yeah,
here she is.
I could
my
always just
Luigi
grab my
costume.
drive jacket though.
Yeah, that's true. My Luigi costume was $18.99, so I feel like I'm good.
I'd go to Spirit real quick and get a Terrifier outfit.
Do it. Do it. She's back.
Sorry, my power flickered and then, the internet went out, so
All
Cool
good.
hurricane.
no.
All right. Chelsea, to you, are you dressing up for anything? And are you going trick or treating? And if so, what candy would or would you not steal from a kid?
So we're going over a friend's house and he's doing an alien theme. So I have to do some kind of alien
Go as a
vibe.
Romulus VHS tape.
Ooh.
That's true.
What
Is
kind of
it-
alien?
Just any,
Okay, so it's just like alien,
just any.
not like
To
Sigourney Weaver
no,
alien. Okay, any
to
alien.
give you a thought, Mike's going as the cigarette smoking man from the X-Files because he has this little oxygen tank. So I thought it'd be really funny.
That's pretty good.
You're not going to go as Sigourney Weaver at the end of the first Alien movie
I
when
do
she gets
you
in the
do you know
pod?
how hard that is to do the night before?
Do you know what I'm
Just
talking
underwear.
about?
That's all it is.
No,
It's just
I
underwear
get
and
that.
a
I get that, but I'm not going to do that over somebody's house.
Ah, this is your time to
So
shine,
Why
Chelsea.
haven't you
I
built
have,
one of the big yellow robot things?
yeah. I'll do that. It's like, it's like the night before projects due. I'll do that. I'll have my mom help me.
Can you do the Dybbuk from the Jewish episode of X-Files?
No.
You
How
Uh,
do
know
you
what I'm
know about
talking.
that?
I
curly hair
watch the
mustache.
X-Files a lot, and of course I'm going to remember the Jewish one.
Okay. Okay. All right. But no, I have to figure something out tonight.
That'll be
Okay.
fun.
Well, and then okay, so if you're going to somebody's house, what candy are you going to steal for yourself?
Um, I don't what candy do I like? Any chocolate and then the apple caramel lollipop things.
Oh,
Those are good.
those are
But
good.
but we go over this will be 2 years, 3 years now that we go over our friends and he always gives out free alcohol to all of the adult trick-or-treaters. So
Nice.
Oh wow, that's really nice.
expect some fun text tomorrow night.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. All the alien puns. And I didn't say what candy I was. I don't discriminate against candy. I prefer all colors of candy. So I will eat all of it. I can't wait. I already told Warren, I said he told me his kid was real excited about this, like she's gonna be so surprised. And I said, well, when I get back with your child, I am going to take half of her candy as payment for me coming over. And he goes, well, they're not going to want you to come back. It's like, we'll see. I'm
Yeah.
excited about this.
Yeah, you should totally fight a child for candy.
It'll be good. I feel like Mr. Burns did that in The Simpsons and he lost
Yeah.
against Maggie. It's so good. All
The
right.
bold
Yeah,
strategy, Cotton.
yeah.
We'll
Me, myself, and Irene style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Still a five-star movie. Okay. We are going to talk about Ouija Origins of Evil right now. I'm very excited to talk about this because this movie, it's one of the few movies that where the sequel is like legitimately better than its first one and by a whole much, just because you got Mike Flanagan to come aboard. And it's a prequel to the first film that came out in 2014 called Ouija, but Ouija Origin of Evil. I remember seeing this at a press screening and thinking, okay, maybe not, maybe go fuck myself. But after I saw it, I said, ooh, this is fucking good and this is scary. And then
And you're
coming
like,
back
I'm
to,
still gonna fuck myself,
you're right, yeah, still
but
gonna
the
go
happy
home.
way.
Yeah, see, Preston knows me. Fucked myself in the theater and at home.
How's your mother doing?
She's tired from fucking my father.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie I watched it last night again and afterwards I said that is still scary. Holy shit. And I had to like watch, like Scrubs afterwards because I was like too freaked out again. But what about y'all? Well, Chelsea, when did you first see Ouija Origins of Evil?
So this is a Flanagan blind spot for me, and I saw it what, the other night? 2 nights ago? Yeah. I watched it for the first time because I didn't one, I did not know this was the Flanagan joint. And two, I usually sequels to movies like this aren't great. But I mean, we'll talk about it later, but I love this.
Good. Good deal. What about Preston? Preston, where did you remember seeing this with me?
I didn't see it with you. I didn't see this until a year after it was released in preparation for my interview with Mike Flanagan and his long-standing creative partner and producer Trevor Macy at Fantastic Fest in 2017 during Gerald's game. So I had seen Oculus and Hush previously, I think at South by, if I'm not mistaken. And I enjoyed those movies, and I just wanted to fill in the gap in preparation of that interview. So I guess I didn't think about, just like what Chelsea was talking about. I didn't think about watching it really because the first film was so forgettable. However, I quickly discovered that Flanagan's take was it was like a repositioning, like Purge Anarchy was. But what I think makes it a great film is that it doesn't entirely ignore the events of the first movie. There are characters, story, and setting ties. However, you don't have to know the previous film to appreciate what Flanagan does. I think it may soften the blow or the shock of the ending, which very much is a departure from other spooky house and possession like stories. But it's very much a slow build and has secrets in the corners like Flanagan does. So yeah, it's great.
Good deal. Dan, how about you? When did you first see this, and what did you think about it coming
I
back to
saw
it?
I saw it when y'all told me to watch it,
Oh,
and I had no idea that I'd seen the first movie in the theaters and thought it was a giant turd. But so I probably just had no interest in seeing this. And complete blind spot when it came up and it said it was by Mike Flanagan. I had no idea it was by Mike Flanagan when the credits started. So it was I was surprised at how good it was, and I didn't know it was going to be this enjoyable.
it is damn enjoyable. Let's talk about how enjoyable it is and how scary this movie is. All right, the cold open of this movie. It's a séance. It's got like a reading, a palm reading almost. You're contacting the dead, and you realize like right after it happens, it's all fake. The family's in on it. It's like a magic trick. It's wires and mirrors and smoke and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But with that, what, because you ask this medium, this alleged medium is asking this person who's trying to contact her loved dead one. You have three questions to ask them. So my first question is, in this movie, uh Chelsea, will start with you. What three questions would you ask a loved one? Like if you were in this situation and you had like, what are three questions? Because some of this movie's like, what do you think about the money thing? I was like, wait, what? That's the one of the questions you would ask? What three questions would you ask? Would it be something like,
No,
what is the meaning of life? What do you think?
mine are really sweet though. I feel like
Yeah,
this.
let's do
I
that.
mean, are you proud of me? Do you
Okay.
see me? How you doing?
That's good. That's good. And hopefully you'd get great answers from that. What
Yeah.
about you, Dan? What three questions would you ask a dead loved one?
Jesus.
Are we talking about via a Ouija board?
Yes.
Oh no, I would not participate in this.
But
I'm
if
just
you had
saying, like,
to, if
I'm
you
not
well,
doing.
well, in this
I'm not.
part of the movie, there's no Ouija board yet. This is just a medium.
True.
You can
Oh,
ask a
yeah.
question.
Um, Man, I don't know. I'd probably try to figure out some things coming up in the future. If they, I would honestly be like, can you see the future from heaven or wherever you are? Like, do you know what I mean? Got a stock
Yeah.
tip for me or anything like? Just you might as well check it
Oh,
out.
he's hiding some Judaism there. He's trying to ask about money.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's already such a creepy thing. Like what the questions that Chelsea asked, it's like those are the default, I think, that I would definitely put first on the list. So I'm just trying to think of other ones that could be helpful. Um, but no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't go to a seance. I wouldn't go to a Ouija board. I wouldn't go to a fortune teller. So it's tough for me to even picture myself being in this situation.
Has anyone been to a seance?
I've
You went
done
to
a
a fake
seance
one, didn't you?
before. I've
I've done
done
one.
one. Scare the
Yeah,
shit out of me.
I've had one done. I mean, I've been to one. I've been to one fake one and one real one.
I
How do you
Okay.
know the difference?
Well, how do you know
Well, well, one it was like an immersive experience, and the other one was like a legit like medium.
Ooh, see, that's them scare me. I did do one when I was little. I've never done one since because it scared me so much. Too much. Preston, how about you? What three questions would you ask?
I feel like the first question would have to be a validation type of thing. I would need to have full investment in this in the occurrence, I suppose, before I proceeded with anything. So that would have to be my first question. The other ones would be probably because there's some things going on and my wife and I's life, and we're putting a lot of investment in at the moment. And I would just like to know, not money wise, but just our time. And so I would just like to know, are we wasting our time by doing that? And should we just be putting our focus elsewhere? So that would be a big thing. And yeah, a lot of them are just like personal things, I suppose, that I don't really feel comfortable sharing publicly. But yeah, just some nice things, but they involve like my wife and I. So yeah,
Oh, well, that was very sweet. I feel like, okay. I
I just
I
want
don't,
to, yeah, I just want to know if we're okay, we're going to be okay. Yeah.
and so it seems like, at least maybe with Dan and Preston, it seems like maybe there's a notion of a deceased loved one might have insight into the future, or they know what will happen, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like
And
I
so, you know,
Yeah.
love.
there's nothing going on with my relationship or anything. It's just more just like our time being put into things, and I want to know. It involves our son too. So all sweet
Sweet.
things.
All right. I think mine aligns more with Chelsea. It's more like, what's heaven like? And are you happy? And is heaven literally like, the lesbian clown on the milkshake hot tub type of thing? Like, I feel like that would be my questions, really. Because what do we have to look forward to?
You
I,
watch me when I masturbate.
Oh God.
Yes.
I think the
Don't
first
act like you've never thought about it.
Oh,
after
hell
wa-
yeah.
after seeing this movie, the first thing you have to ask is, are you a murder? Are you actually my loved one, or are you a
Yeah.
murderous doctor?
Are
Well,
you
that's where
my
Preston's
person?
question came in of
Yeah,
validation. He's going to
validation.
ask something very specific.
I
Yeah.
changed mine. Absolutely. After the validation, my first one will be, is my dog okay? Because I want to see him again. Will I have the chance to see him again in the afterlife?
No. And it would be interesting to ask, like, do dogs go to a separate heaven, or do
No.
are they all in the
All dogs
same
go to
place?
heaven.
Okay, there
No.
you go. Okay. Well, all right. I like this. This has got a little sappy and a little serious, but shit. I mean, and then me is like, who do you see me masturbate? And third question, do you like it? So there.
Yeah, and you're assuming my questions are the are you proud of me and can you see me are about humans? What if they're about my
Ooh.
dogs?
Oh, there you go. I like that. I like that a lot. So I think that's kind of how it sets up this first type of moment in the movie where you're like, okay, all of this is fake, and even the main characters and the daughters think it's fake. And then something happens, and you see the youngest daughter here kind of have this moment where she says, and we can see you. And I think that is such a scary line because some of this movie that Flanagan does early in his career, some of it's a little silly, some of it I think he's grown a lot, but he always brings it back to straight horror and scares. And I think with that first line from the daughter that says, "We can see you," that scared me. And that brings up a whole thing of like, wait, you mean the afterlife, the dead people, we can't see you, but they can see us. What does that make you think? How scary is that to you, especially in this movie?
If I can't see somebody, I don't know. I'm pretty good. If I can't see it, if my dog's like looking into a corner weirdly or staring at something, like that's gonna freak me out a little bit, but I don't really, doesn't really phase me.
That
It's
doesn't?
no, I've always wanted, like, I'm gonna put it out there right now. I've always wanted to like see a ghost or something from the other side, but I have never had anything like that, except when I told you about the Ouija board and that magic 8 ball flew, but that was when I was really little. So,
Okay. All right. I mean, I feel like I don't want to see a ghost unless it's like, like Ghost Dad or Patrick Swayze. But
ghost dad, yeah.
yes, but the ghosts in this seem scary as shit. Preston, what about you?
Um, I kind of react to it in the same way that Taika Waititi does in Thor Ragnarok, where you just when weird sounds, the doors shut or whatever, because we've had that happen, and or banging noises, and I always make the joke to my wife, "Piss off, ghost," and I'll kick the air. And so I'm sure I believe in it, and I'm sure it's there. It's just I don't see a lot of it. I just hear it more than anything. And every once in a while, I'll walk into a room and I think that I see a black shadow or something, but nothing super concrete to be where I'm not like, oh, did I really see that? Or is that just like my mind? You don't know because your fears kind of settling in when you're like by yourself, and so you're creating images in your head, and so you're just kind of questioning your own sanity a little bit in those moments, but nothing like long enough to really be like, oh, that was it. So I have an openness to it all.
That shit scares me so much. Dan, does that scare you? Like in this movie where she says like we can see you to
Yeah,
the
little kids are always the scariest people to deliver any sort of dialogue um in these movies, especially related to that sort of thing. And I'm kind of with Preston. Like if I let my imagination go wild in the dark or something, then I can work myself up. But I've never seen something. I'm not sure I believe in it fully. I'm definitely open to the possible. I've just never
Yeah.
seen personal evidence of it. I've definitely seen like creepy circumstances, but it always turns out to be like the ice machine in the fridge or
Yeah.
you know what I mean, something weird happened and like a chimney flue that broke or something, just something weird. But in those instances where I hear it or see it or feel something, it creeps me the hell out.
Right.
We lead with logic.
Do you hope that it is something supernatural or somebody from the other side?
No.
Okay. Well, Chelsea?
Speaking for myself,
Yeah.
I just rewatched Midnight Mass, so Dan got it. Um, um, I do wish I'm pretty agnostic in my thinking. I'm pretty open to things, but if there is, there is. If there isn't, there isn't. I wish there is. I wish people, I wish we're all right and we all get to see our dogs and our grandmas and our dads and our friends and yep.
Okay. Preston, you think the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to like when my dog passed away, and I think I mentioned it on here. If I'm not, here it is again. I created like a little shrine here on my desk for my dog Hildy, and I had one of her tennis balls like within her collar, and it had a picture and everything, and then the tennis ball like a few days after she passed away, when I was really going through it, the tennis ball was on the floor and it was rolled over to the spot where she would lay all the time. And so it just gave me some closure and made me feel better knowing that, hey, it's okay. And so nothing else has happened since then, but it's what I needed in the moment. So I believe in moments like that, kind of like what the family was trying to achieve with the people that they're working with. Like, yeah, they may be doing it for the wrong reasons, but they're trying to allow people to move on or make them believe, like what the mom was saying, Elizabeth Reese's character saying that, hey, it's okay, uh, because we're getting people to believe the things that they already know, but they just need that one that next thing to just really get them over the line.
Okay. I like it. All right. So I think we all love Flanagan here, who directed this and wrote this. Chelsea, start with you.
Mm.
You said this
Hmm.
was a blind spot with you and Flanagan's repertoire. This being an early Flanagan film for you, when you're watching it, are you upset or are you really intrigued? Are you excited about how he goes about telling this? Because some of the moments I think in this movie, Ouija Origins of Evil, kind of are too silly or a little bit silly. Or do you think he really brings it home with every movie? Or could you tell it was like an early movie for him?
So I could tell it's a bit of an early movie for him. I think his other one was Absentia.
Uh,
Um,
there's Oculus.
I mean Oculus as well, but the one that really got him noticed was Absentia. And so I can see that there are some like things being worked on, but this as a sequel and as I know the original Ouija did really well, and that's why they wanted to do a sequel. They're like, it's got terrible reviews, but you know, it made a ton of fucking money. Um, I can see the kind of wheels turning, and if you watch all of his stuff, you can see a lot of especially in like the Henry Thomas stuff and just how he tells stories and just how he sets them up. And so, no, I'm not mad about anything in this. I actually really enjoy it, and I think it does get really, really weird and creepy.
And in addition to that, do you see Flanagan coming out like you've seen him in
Yes,
Haunted of Hill House and Black Mass? You see like those elements of who he became.
I see the elements of who he was becoming, who he became, And as soon as this ended, my first thought was, I'm really glad he's doing The Exorcist because this is kind of like his dry run with The Exorcist a little bit.
Yeah, tons of
Because
that.
yeah. So I am very, very excited to see what he does because he said the his Exorcist movie is the scariest thing he's ever done. So
I
yeah.
like that. Dan, what about you? Same question. How do you feel about this early Flanagan? And did he get horror back then?
Yeah, no, I think you can see little bits of Midnight Mass, Hill House, um, all of those, all the things that all at least the Netflix shows, you can see little pieces of some of the hallway shots or some of the way he uses the shadows and those sorts of creepy things that he was definitely perfecting or have always been in his brain. You can even see some of the things he did in Doctor Sleep with a much bigger budget as far as actual scares go, because I don't think that this movie is very creepy. And obviously there's a few jump scares, but I think when he got the budget of Doctor Sleep, really being able to make it downright terrifying with the extra money in the budget for the CGI or whatever he needed to get it done. I think that this is a really, if anyone had listened to, not to rehash it, Fear and Loathing, my complaint about Rob Zombie's first movie, I know this wasn't technically his first movie, but you could see where he was going, like the things that worked and that were going to be good. And so I appreciated it a lot more.
I like that. And Preston, the somebody who's interviewed Flanagan and talked with him and all of that good stuff for a good chunk of time. And then watching this, how do you feel like he's accelerated in his style and horror from this?
Like what's already been said here, like it just seemed like characters have always been at the forefront for him, and he knows that by creating an investment in the characters, it allows the thrills to be more scary, or the scares to be more scary. And so even with this, it's like 90 minutes long, and it takes like 40 minutes or so before the first like real big thing happens. I know that all throughout, just like I was kind of teasing, especially when you watch Haunted of Hill House and a lot of the analysis that has been out there in terms of like things just being in the corner or moving, just all kinds of secrets that are in the shadows, so to speak. There's all that there, and it in like all his work, if you watch it more and more, you'll start to notice and pick up more things. So yeah, it kind of gets a little more scary with each watch, and so yeah, I think that it just kind of shows the foundation of it helped lay down the foundation for where he's at now, and so I can just see a lot of the DNA that's carried across. But yeah, like I feel like he's gotten better with his pacing and like really leaning into the Spielbergianness of what he's been trying to do with his work, especially with Midnight Mass. Like I just feel like he's handled the characters a little bit more delicately, and has found even more images to make us freak out versus just, having a mouth open real wide like a snake or something like that, which is scary on its own, but the more scary moments in this movie are very subtle. Like they're a blurred image of a girl watching a TV, and then you see that her eyes are white, and you don't quite notice it until her eyes go back to
That's
normal.
what, yeah, I was going to
So
bring
things like
that up.
that.
I wanted to talk about that specifically. And I'll start with Chelsea. I think that Flanagan in this movie, even for as young he was here, the difference the contrast of subtle scares and big fucking jump out scares because there's both in this movie. And the subtle scares, like Preston was saying, is the little girl when her eyes go white but then go back to normal, or when there's a little shadowy figure in the background, it just steps behind the wall. Like that, that's some scary shit. Like subtle scares and then big ass scares of
Yeah,
something.
the demon.
Yeah, Chelsea, what
The,
do you think?
after the bed, after the covers got pulled off the bed and that demon was standing there,
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was scary as shit.
that was.
This I mean, the scariest one for me and the one I kind of like jump back at a little was when I think the boyfriend of the sister was putting his hand in, and you can
Mhm.
see in the very back the sister and her eyes just go white, and she has the weirdest freaking grin on her, just like back and forth, back and forth. I was like, ugh, and I
Yeah,
just went, ugh. Like
kids are scary.
that freaked me out.
But do you like the contrast of subtle and jump in your face scares here? Do
I'm
you think
not
it's effective?
I'm not a huge person for a jump scare, especially when it's really like cheap,
Hmm.
even though it's fun. But I think there's something between like a jump scare and something like so that looks so terrifying and horrifying. It's like scary to my existence kind of thing. It's not just like that's a loud noise. And so I feel like the first time we really see the demon or kind of like bend her back because it just happens so
Oh, the
it
Tar
just
Man.
yeah, it just happens and it's Doug Jones. Love that guy. We just see that demon bend her back and open her mouth really wide. I'm just like, "Oh, this is yeah, I don't blame you for having to watch Scrubs that night."
Right. And when you say like some jump scares are very, I mean, some are earned, some are not, some are very cheesy and you know it's going to happen. But I think what Flanagan does so well is that he does the jump scare when you don't know it's going to happen. Because sometimes in movies
Yes.
with a jump scare, it's somebody walking down a hall real quietly, and then there's like the fake out with a cat, and then somebody appears behind. But like Flanagan here, or in Flanagan and Haunting of Hill House with the broke neck lady, you don't expect that shit.
Yeah.
It just happens. And I think that's what draws the line with Flanagan and anybody else. He knows how to do it, both.
He knows how to lay it out to where it yeah, it'll
Well,
progress and by the
you
end
don't
it'll
expect
be
it.
yeah,
That's
it'll
his
be
big
this
his you
thing.
know there's a scare coming at some point in the scary movie directed by Mike Flanagan. But in most movies you watch, the music drops out, the soundtrack goes out, and the whole everything goes quiet. So you're like, all right, half the scare is going to be because it's going to be so loud all of a sudden,
Yeah.
and this and and then there's they're looking around, different POV. Oh, there's shadows. Oh, she opened the refrigerator door. Like it's coming, and it will still get you. But you can now audiences are so sophisticated that they see it coming. And in this one, there's lots of little, just a pan or just something where it's unexpected, or he uses a different, yeah, or he uses a different method to frame it, and so it's scary. But I have to go play Ouija by myself with my kids, so I just want to say I really like this movie and thank you for making me watch it. I gave
Well,
it three
well,
stars.
you gave it how many
Trace Amigos,
out of five?
yeah, on Letterbox.
All right, before you go, how do you John Wick it?
Mm.
I thought that was a fear thing, so I didn't prep for
Oh, that
this.
is a fear
It,
thing.
it
Yeah,
is.
it is a fear thing. All right,
Yes,
never mind. No,
yes,
no, no
I can
John
blame my
Wick.
teacher for failing.
All right,
All
go
right,
be
y'all.
spooky and contact everybody from the dead.
I'll
Bye,
report
Luigi.
back my findings. Yeah.
Happy Halloween. Preston, what about you? The subtle and the on the nose stuff. Like, talk to me how you think it works both ways here, or if it doesn't.
No, I think it works. I feel like this is Flanagan experimenting with the fright meter to figure out what works best. And I think each of those moments, whether they're subtle or big, are like they work. They work for the moment that they need to work in. Like there's a reason why they're small or big in that moment, and I feel like he has a good handle on when to know when it's best. And so, I just personally, just because this movie overall is pretty subtle until the last 25 minutes, but even with that compared to where he's at now, I feel like it's still kind of a subtle movie overall. But not much more to say other
All
than
right.
I just feel like he knows what he's doing.
All right, I agree, and I think to add on to that aspect of how I feel like maybe unpredictable, but in a good way, Flanagan is here because you've seen it so many times in a movie, especially a possession movie, where a character is possessed and somebody said like, "Please, demon, take me, don't take them, don't take me," and then the demon's like, "Okay, I'll go into you." But here the demon's like, "We will take all of you fuckers, you are all gonna
Yeah,
die," and that is fucking baller right there. Like
yeah,
that
very
was just like,
nihilistic.
I was like, "Booyakasha," snap my fingers. I was like, damn, that was awesome. Chelsea, what do you think about that?
We are Legion.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like a biblical thing.
Okay. Did
You wouldn't
that
know.
did that scare you? Like, it's the first time watching that, and you think at that moment you're like, okay, the fucking demon's gonna go into the mother, but then the little girl's like, no, we will fucking take all of you.
Possession stuff doesn't scare me as much as it kind of piques my curiosity because the whole thing behind, and I feel like it's kind of Flanagan's driving force is this really big existential question of who we are in the universe and how everybody fits. And not to get too big picture, but I feel like that there's always this profound sadness or something just profound in every single thing he makes. And I mean, with this, with the family that's trying to kind of give closure to other families through grief. Um, and I just forgot where I was going because I'm being too profound. But
You're
yeah,
talking about you're talking
but
about
yeah,
no, what were you talking? Yeah, you keep going.
no, I guess I'm just realizing, I didn't think that this movie had that kind of like heart to it, but I'm thinking that it does now, kind of reflecting on it and just something I appreciate in each one of his projects.
Well, I think you're right. I think you're onto something that this movie does have like a heart of family wanting to be together and never being alone because they have the tragedy of, the husband slash father dying and the kids feel like they're alone. They're not getting along with people at school. The mother is there, but she's trying to make the money. And I think in the end, they may or may not want to be together, whatever the case may be, even if it's a horrifying experience. I don't know. Preston, what do you think?
I don't know. It's hard to talk about this movie without really getting into like what all happens in the end, because I think that's one of the biggest surprises to me for an early Flanagan work. Not that any of them, all his movies are just like 100% completely happy or anything, because it almost feels like this is trying to be something different. Because in a normal like exorcism movie, it's everybody goes through some shit. Maybe one, like the pastor dies, and then all their scars are gone, and they just have to live with the trauma that we don't get to see on screen. This, as you've already said, everybody pays a price or just suffers for what happens in the film. And I think that's why I say it's probably an interesting experience for someone probably like Chelsea who hasn't seen the first film to just go into this and then it ends the way that it does. But if you've seen the first one, you know that did Chelsea, did you happen to stick around for the after credits sequence?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So yeah, Lynn Shay. is in this, and she is in the first film, and then you realize that, oh yeah, if you paid a close enough attention to the names, you would know that she is the, quote, villain of the first film. Um, so it just needed to get to that point. But I think there's an incredible sadness for what happens because the whole family doesn't get to have that happy ending where they get to all be together in the living world. They do in the afterlife. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a really interesting film, and as Chelsea's said, like I feel like Flanagan's has been asking these big questions about like what is the real afterlife? What is our purpose for living on Earth? And should we take things as seriously, or is like love the answer to everything? Do we deserve happiness? There's so many things that he's playing with that are interesting, and there's a little bit of a through line to them, but they also feel like separate theses as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to take away, and especially as you watch more and more of his films, and you'll notice these questions that he's asking that because I didn't really latch onto this the first go around. It took going through all the experiments that he's done in the later half of his career for me to really kind of pay attention to be like, oh man, he's been doing this, pulling the strings all along type of thing, or playing with that needle.
Interesting. Okay. I like that. It's obviously he's grown, and I think he's always known what he's doing. And I mean, even when he does like a sequel to The Shining, or he's doing this prequel to this movie, there's something about Flanagan that just he knows the he knows how to scare, and then he knows how to bring it down to earth. And I think that's just a great way to do it.
Yeah. He seems to be the best person at just adapting things or
Yeah.
just there's he how many of the projects that he's done have they been like 100% original?
Well, okay, so House of Usher is not this one is based on another movie or this a prequel to it. The Doctor Sleep is Stephen King, Haunting
Gerald's
of Hill
Game.
House, and then what was the other? What was the second
Bly
one?
Manor.
The Bly Manor
Hmm.
and then Midnight Mass, and then
I guess Oculus
Midnight Mass
is original.
was original.
okay. Do you want him to keep adapting, or do you want Flanagan to do his own thing, or both?
I don't know. I'd be curious to know what a complete idea would look like for him, but I also just feel like he's really good at just taking the pieces of other things that have been there,
Yeah.
books, and just making it his own
I
and
mean,
original.
that's what Kubrick did. Every one of Kubrick's movies is based on a book.
Yeah.
Everyone. And
Yeah.
he
It
did it
just
well.
seems like he understands like the assignment. He's the guy in the room that gets it.
Oh.
Like puts the pieces together every time. So yeah.
So with the young girl who's possessed in this movie with that fucking white ass mouth and the white eyes, is that scary? Is that a scary visual? And did it scare you every time it happened?
Yes. I don't like it.
I think the one that scared me the most was the end shot of the little girl crawling on the ceiling.
No, it
That
was the
scared
one
me
where
for some
she's
reason. I was like, oh no, thanks. Didn't like that. And then the subtle ones when you see her out of frame doing it with the smiles and the thing,
yeah, I don't like that.
that was scary too.
I feel like those moments are the scariest to me because I don't know. I feel like there's a whole big, and I guess I've kind of done a little bit thing, but with Dune, with what is in focus and out of focus, like it's so haunting to me in the first Dune where you see, him floating, hovering above. Because I've often said about like sleep paralysis. That's my connection. Anything I can connect back to sleep paralysis and that feeling of just being uh where you just don't move and you're just so I don't know, like focused on what's happening there. Just that is absolutely terrifying to me. So more the subtle moments or out of focus moments were the scariest to me versus like the ones that are, opening the wide mouth like right then and there, like when the tar man thing is going inside of her mouth.
The
Yeah.
one moment that really didn't work for me in the movie that really took me out of it for a second, I was like, oh, this is so terrible. This is so bad, was the scene when the oldest sister is doing the sutures. She is sewing the lips up. How it was made and edited was so bad to me, but I guess they couldn't really
They
do it.
can't show them harming a child like that.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
that I was like, oh man, this is bad. This is just I didn't
But they
sell it
put
to me.
in instead of that, they put the kind of like otherworldly like battle of all the other stuff with the other sister kind of raging raging like inside of her. And but I kept waiting for to see just like one drop of blood or one little like suture go in and out, and I was like, oh
That's what I
well,
was waiting
all
for
right.
too, and I think that actress, it just she didn't sell any of it to me. She didn't seem grossed out enough. She wasn't seem she was in much pain dealing with the demons around her, trying to pull at her. I didn't believe it in that moment. But what sells that moment, I think, right afterwards, is that you realize people are dead. You're like, wait, oh, eh, people aren't surviving this movie that you think they're going to. And I think that's what sells it for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That was the moment. I mean, were you taken out of that moment for that?
Mm, I mean, I was waiting for the kind of the to see her just get a little bit gorier with like kind of the sutures to the mouth, but I think in place of that, they did the whole kind of like demons fighting the sister. And I do think that is a cool sequence. So I'm not gonna like be like, oh, I just wish the little girl had her mouth sewn shut and I would have seen it. Because I do think ultimately the cooler sequence was with the like the Doug Jones, a bunch of the demons and stuff. So I
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really have any qualms towards it.
All right. Now I'm going to ask you both. What do you think this movie is wholly about as far as the story of it goes? Like, do you think it's actually this demon, or do you think it's actually because in one part in the movie, it is said that there was a Nazi doctor that is doing experiments and he was obsessed with the occult. Is it this Nazi doctor that's the demon? Is there like a supernatural demonic force that's not human? And with both movies being in existence, Ouija and Ouija Origin of Evil, is it just this family that's being affected, or is it a goal maybe at some point in time to this German doctor or this demonic force to take over the entire world? What do you think the goal is of it? Because it feels very grounded within one family here.
I think it's just the setting, the space, it's the house.
Okay, it's the house.
Yeah, they just found they were just there. They were vessels for
Okay.
them to build
Yeah,
continuous work, I suppose.
I'm looking at the cast list, and you said was the Nazi doctor the same as like the demon kind of thing? And it just says Doug Jones Marcus. So I think they're supposed to be one and the same, just in two different like weird, you know, ways. But yeah,
Okay.
Marcus,
Yeah,
Dr. Marcus.
I was trying to figure that out. I was like, okay, is this gonna go to like to a bigger place where this forest wants to get out and get everybody, or is it just like somebody's in his house and he's trying, like Preston said, further the work of himself in whatever form?
He got robbed of his work.
No, that's good. That's good.
He's
Um,
no Dr. Satan.
No, Dr. Satan. Did any of you laugh at the boyfriend who's hung bungee cording to take the girl and back up the stairs? Did that make you laugh?
No, I thought you were going somewhere else. You go the boyfriend who's hung.
Always
I,
thinking about dicks.
no, I'm sorry. That scared. No, that scared me. That was a legit jump scare.
I mean, me too, because I mean, like again, we've talked about the jump scare that just happens out of nowhere. But when you realize that it's like the big bungee cord and it's the dead hanging guy grabbing the girl, I just thought like, ha, that was awesome, but
Yeah.
funny.
I wish it was a little more subtle because I think the beauty of the dad laying her in the bed was more effective, emotionally effective, versus that one. That's
Okay.
like Spider-Man trying to save Gwen Stacy.
I like that. Oh, that made me laugh for some reason. That did. Um, What do you think is so scary about little girls smiling with white eyes and possessing people, as opposed to maybe an older gentleman or even, E.T.'s Henry Thomas, which, well, first, we're going to talk about Henry Thomas in the next question, but what do you think about the little girl? Like, what is it about this little girl that's so scary?
I I think any little kid that talks about more information than they're supposed to know is scary.
Okay.
Like when little kids talk about
What
when
it
you
feels
see
like to
little
be strangled.
yeah, what it's like to be strangled, something that they shouldn't know about, that
Which
you
Yeah.
was
know
awesome.
that they don't know about. The thing that scares me the most is when I see these stories of like the little kids talking about past lives, like they were like
Yeah.
kamikaze pilots, and they're like, "Oh, I had a picture of my wife," and like it comes out like all of their stuff was true. Like that scares me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. What do you think that has true? Like you having a kid, Preston, are you ever scared that one day you're gonna
Has he
see
said
ro
anything weird?
I'm trying to think about it, but no, nothing like that. Well, there's just been some things where I'm like, oh, where did he learn that? And we can't like figure it out. But it's like certain words, but a lot of it could be like what Dan and I were just talking about earlier. Like we're thinking through the logic of everything. Oh, he probably learned it from this. I'm not really digging deep enough to really feel like. So yeah, he's been drawing all these pictures lately, and there's a consistency with this and
or
that,
he's
and that.
writing in Polish letters?
Right, right, right. Nothing
Yeah.
like that. No, I haven't seen anything quite like that, or I haven't investigated it enough to really draw that sort of conclusion. But I think the idea of it is scary, just like Chelsea was saying. Like, just like any small, like there's such an innocence with the child. Like you don't want to see any harm done. And when they, yeah, like she said, if they know something more than they should, that's scary. Them drawing things or writing other people's histories or being the joke that I made at the front, which is that line actually made me laugh, was she's like, I am the hand of Doris, or the hand of the ghost or demon, whatever. Um, so yeah, I think all that, but I feel like Flanagan just did a good job of laying down that groundwork. Like he did the homework for it, and in terms of a character with that strangulation description that he has, and there's like a lot of just small moments that he does, like with Henry Thomas, and I know we hinted at when his possession scene comes, like it's a moment because there's a build up to it.
Yeah.
But what's great about that scene is that it's not just to do it. It's not because, a movie like The Exorcist shows like, oh yeah, something will happen to the priest in it most likely. Um, in this, he's doing it because it's the bridge to what's ultimately happens with the older sister because it's showing, oh, like it's they're really living up to the word of I'm going to take you all type of thing.
which is awesome. It
Yeah.
is. It is. And so, speaking of Henry Thomas, did you like him in this movie? Do you like his character in this film? Does he seem very overly excited to be part of it? Like not in real life, but his character?
Well, yeah, but he has those motivations to where he had been married before,
Hmm.
wasn't
Yes.
that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. His
So
wife, Gloria.
it was very much where how Flanagan plays with Midnight Mass, and he was raised Catholic, and I know all about that, and just kind of like the facade of, I mean, even Fleabag talks about it. Do you choose love or do you choose like faith? And I think that's really powerful. But I love Henry Thomas in this. I love Henry Thomas in anything. But I think he was excited because he
Not
had been
Gerald's game.
married before. Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious. This I love the scene when he's talking to the mother and the daughter about the Polish letters, and he seems so excited to talk about it. He's almost smiling when he's like, "Hey, this is happening right now," and he's writing in Polish. That's like, is that the correct way to do it, or he's just like, "Oh, I get to like solve this case. I am getting these people better in his, priestly ways."
It's his national treasure. That's his,
Yeah.
you know.
He's just a very smart character. I think that scene, especially when he's, doing the exposition dump, essentially, it he's very good at navigating it. It just feels like he's such a calculated character. Like he always feels like all throughout, but not in an aggressive way. Like it's always like leave
Well, it's
some room
almost
for
like he's
error.
dealt with it before because that scene beforehand, he has the letters, and then you see him coming in, and then he's telling the mother and the daughters, like, look, I faked it. Like, I wanted
Yeah.
her to believe what I believe. Like, he came in prepared, which was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he's just very sly with how smart he is. With
Yeah.
like he's like playing a game of chess in front of the family, but nobody really noticed it that he was doing that. So and I like the realization that he has at the very end when he is possessed, and then he comes back for his brief moment, and he just knows, I'm fucked, but I did something. I tried to
Yeah.
do something.
Right. No, damn good. Damn good. This movie is scary as shit. I love that it ends on pretty much a downer note. I think that I think it's horrifying. I think this movie will scare people. It's not many movies make me want to watch Scrubs or Seinfeld after this movie does. Um, yeah. Chelsea, you have something to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say what a delicious word planchette is and how I don't get to say it enough.
It is, yes. Agreed.
That's all.
Agreed. Do you recommend this movie for Halloween? Is this going to be a new mainstay for you to watch again and again?
Mm, yeah, I'll watch this again. I gave this 3.5 on Letterboxd. I don't think it's quite at like the 4-star mark, but if I could give it like 3.75, I would. But yeah, I think this was a blind spot for me for Flanagan, and I didn't know this even existed. So thank you, Preston. But yeah, this will go into my Halloween stuff.
Hell yeah. What about you, Preston? Do you recommend it? Do you like watching it again? Does it hold up?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's gonna be one that I watch like every Halloween or anything like that. I definitely crave more of Flanagan's other work, but it's something that like every once in a while, like every few years, I'd like to throw on and just um, because I think there's a lot of creativity in here, not just from like characters and story structure and that sort of thing, but like there's a lot of like technical stuff that he does in here to make it feel like it's a legit movie from 1967 with the way that the frames will kind of drop in its
Yeah.
transitions. There's the cigarette burns every 20 minutes and
Mhm.
we've already kind of touched on some of the way of how it's framed. Like he uses a split diopter, where thing and that's in focus in the background and the foreground, the movement of the camera. So there's a lot of stuff here that feels like you're watching something that's a little more classic, and I think that immerses me more in the story versus because a lot of times when I see stuff that's like a period piece, it kind of it can take me out of it because it doesn't feel like I'm just noticing the references or I'm noticing like all how it's the set is and everything versus being like I kind of forgot about it a little bit because I felt like I was in the setting. And I feel like he did a really good job of making it feel like a 70s film or late 60s film without really drawing a lot of attention to itself. Like it doesn't need like, oh yeah, we went to go see this at the movie theater. I know there's like black and white films that are playing on the screen and things like that. But nothing that I feel like I said drawn a lot of attention to itself. So that allowed me to get more into the story. So I just feel like I mentioned, Flanagan knows how to immerse people into their stories with their hearts and with their eyes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Flanagan is awesome. This movie is great. I really love it. I highly recommend it. I think it will scare you. Ouija Origin of Evil. It is currently on Netflix, or you can buy the VHS copy of it or the Blu-ray copy of it, which either way. That is our Halloween episode this year of My Bloody Podcast. We hope you have a wonderful Halloween and a very, very spooky, spectacular Thursday. Chelsea, where can everybody go trick-or-treating with you online?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that out loud. But you can online. I thought you meant like
Yeah.
physically. Okay. I was like, don't drive to my house, please. Um, Online you can find me on Fear and Loathing in cinema with you two and Dan Moran. And you can find me on Twitter, Miss underscore Tenenbaum and Chelsea Nico as everything else. And probably drinking heavily for the next week
Oh, good. Good
until the
deal.
election.
Till the election, she's going to purge herself.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit longer. Those election results are going to take a little bit.
Yep, Nevada, can you stop hand counting ballots?
Chelsea, speaking of your social media on Twitter and Instagram, do you get a lot of people that DM you or reply to your horror movie stuff or podcast stuff? I'm curious.
I get some replies.
Yeah, are they all good? Do you
Some
like
are
it? Do
free.
you like it? Do you like people to message you about all this stuff?
Yeah,
All right, good.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
All
I
Yeah,
right.
and
I
we
mean,
we encourage people to do that. We have
yeah,
the My Bloody Podcast Instagram
yeah.
you can engage with,
We
or
can engage.
yeah.
I did have someone be very creepy the past few days, so that's why I'm just like, "Mm, maybe
Oh,
not."
Mm,
So
in the season. Well, all right. All right. What about you, Preston? Preston, where can they find you?
Instagram, Blu-ray Dad, writing on Denton Record-Chronicle, and on Fear and Loathing in Cinema with you all.
I like it. I like it. I'm
no.
Bryan Kluger. I'm at Boomstick Comics. I'm at High Def Digest, writing movie reviews. I'm on these podcasts. I've got radio shows, The Entertainment Answer and Electromagnetic Radio, and I'm Bryan Kluger everywhere else. It's a lot, really, but it's a lot of fun. And it's a happy Halloween. Thank you for listening. My Bloody Podcast. We'll see you in November and go out and vote.